Hey everyone, and welcome back to Robin Gallagher's Vinyl Reviews. Today we're going to go over one of my favourite bands, which I don't think I've done a video on before, or even talked about, but Joy Division. This is the Unknown Pleasures 40th anniversary vinyl, which comes with a white outer sleeve and a black inner sleeve, which is different. I mean, it's reversed, and then you have a nice bright red vinyl. Now, I will say that it might not be the same for all of them, but my version, this vinyl right here, sounds terrible. It honestly just sounds awful. I don't listen to the 40th anniversary edition. I just stick the old one on. And when I went to take it back to, I think it was Rough Trade, this was a few months ago now, they wouldn't have it, but anyway, the album itself, I mean, Unknown Pleasures is one of the greatest debut albums of all time, and every song on it is superb. Every song on it is a 10 out of 10. So I'll say it right now, Unknown Pleasures is a 10 out of 10. So this is obviously the original version. I believe this is a 2007 pressing when they remastered it. So it was released on Factory Records in 1979, I think. That might be really wrong, but it starts with Disorder, which the opening lyrics are Ian singing, "I'm looking for someone to take me by the hand and make me feel pleasures of a normal man." I don't think that's the exact lyrics, but that's how the album starts, you know. He's begging for someone to help him feel pleasures that he can't. And then Day of the Lords. What an amazing, amazing track, you know. One of the best Joy Division songs. I love the way that Ian sings "Where Will It End?" The chorus is just one question: where will it end? And then it builds up, and near the end, you know, he's really belting it out. Where will it end? It's just superb, you know. Ian's vocals, Ian Curtis has such an amazing vocal range and unique vocal range, and his lyrics, he's one of my favourite lyricists. You know, it's a shame what happened, but so Candidate and Insight are two really great tracks. Again, New Dawn Fades, which has a really great bass line to it. The bass player for Joy Division, I can't remember his name, but he is superb. Big ups to him. And one of my favourite Joy Division songs, we've got She's Lost Control, which I used to think it was about mental health, but I mean, maybe it kind of is, but it's written about Ian suffered with epilepsy really bad and would have a lot of seizures and fits. So the song is written about someone like that who has lost control of her body and is begging for help because she has a seizure, which is, you know, horrible. Shadow Play, Wilderness, and Interzone, which are three really great tracks. Especially Interzone, which is more of a punk rock. I mean, they are a post-punk band, but Interzone sounds more like a punk rock outfit. And it ends with I Remember Nothing, which is a beautiful ending track, and it's really eerie with the smashing glass and everything. You know, it's absolutely superb. If you haven't heard this record, what the hell are you doing? Go and listen to this record. But definitely will recommend Unknown Pleasures. But yeah, I've said this before, a lot of the albums I'll review are my favourite albums, and they are good albums in their own right. So when I recommend them to you, I imagine most people who watch this have already listened to them, but it doesn't make my job redundant. So next up, they released an EP, 2 albums, and then another EP, I believe. Now, we're singles obviously, but their second album, 1980's Closer, the Unknown Pleasures is the only album they released while Ian Curtis was alive. Sadly, I think it's only 2 weeks. Closer came out, I think it's only 2 weeks after Ian Curtis took his own life. Which, God bless him. But, you know, it's people like Ian Curtis and Syd Barrett and Kurt Cobain and I know Syd Barrett didn't commit suicide. I mean, people who have such amazing talent and due to mental health they just can't, in their head they just don't see it, and it's, you know, and obviously back in the 60s and 70s and 80s mental health wasn't as well known as it is today, but even today there's still so much stigma and crap around mental health. Well, I'm getting off topic. So this album starts with Atrocity Exhibition, which is an amazing opening track where Ian sings the vocals about they're watching him perform, but in his eyes he's saying he still exists. Actually, I'll get it up. Give me a second. This is very professional. There. So the lyrics are, for entertainment they watch his body twist. Behind his eyes he says, I still exist. What an amazing vote, you know. That's one of the best lines to ever be in a song. Easily. Isolation and Passover are 2 really great songs. Means to an End is a superb closing track for side 1. Side 2 is where it really kicks off this album. It's where it's brilliant. Heart and Soul and 24 Hours are 2 great tracks. The 2 best songs on this album easily are They're Eternal and Decades. They're Eternal is a very slow burning, eerie track about, I think it's about a funeral. Well, he references a funeral procession, I can't say it, but it's absolutely beautiful, eerie, and it's terrifyingly depressing. And I don't say that often. And then that goes on to Decades, the last song on this album, which is a perfect closing track, which I love the sort of 80s style beat to it, and the lyrics about trusting people, that those people leave. You know, it's a song that's full of heartbreak and full of I trusted you and you left me sort of thing. And again, Ian's vocals and the whole band was very talented, but Ian Curtis is one of the best songwriters. And actually, sorry, the song The Eternal was written about someone with Down syndrome. Ian Curtis was walking past the park one day as a younger lad, and he sees this kid with Down syndrome playing, as you do. But then, around the time he was writing music for this album, he walks past the same park and sees that kid now all grown up, but still playing, because, you know, Down syndrome. And he wrote a song about someone who never grows up. Or it's really intricate, and I can't, you know, explain it to you. I also can't explain Down syndrome to you. But it's, you know, this album, 8 out of 10, easily. So I do have the Love Will Tear Us Apart. It's on this really nice clear vinyl, and I wish I could show it to you, but I honestly can't find it. If I do find it while I'm editing this video, I'll put it in at the end. But it's completely disappeared. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in another video.